bustling town of Gaki, filled with lively people, playful children, and rough roads, there lived a young man named Ebuka, 25 years old, tall, dark, and strikingly handsome, even in the midst of hardship. He had been born into a family that once knew peace and laughter. Life had been hard since his father died when he was just 15. His mother, Mama Ebuka, was left to raise him alone. She sold akara and roasted corn by the roadside, struggling every single day to send her only son to school. Through her sweat and tears, Ebuka managed to complete his university education, a graduate with big dreams, holding on to hope that his hard work would one day bring light to their lives. But after graduation, reality hit him like a storm. There were no jobs, no opportunities, only rejection after rejection. Every morning before sunrise, Ebuka woke up, fetched water, and prepared a small meal for his mother before stepping out. He would look into her weary eyes, smile gently, and say, "Mama, I will make you proud." Then he would leave their small room and head into the harsh streets to hustle. He did everything to survive. He worked as a hotel cleaner, scrubbing toilets, washing bedsheets, and sweeping hallways. When that wasn't enough, he became a wheelbarrow pusher in the market, carrying sacks of rice and yams under the burning sun and heavy rain. He washed cars, cleared gutters, packed refuse, and even sold snacks and sachet water in traffic. Some days, after hours of hard work, he went home with barely enough money to buy food. The people he once called friends avoided him. Those who once sat beside him in school now drove flashy cars and wore fine clothes. When they saw him, they smiled briefly and quickly drove off, pretending not to notice the wheelbarrow in his hands. And when he tried to approach girls he liked, hoping for simple friendship or maybe love, they mocked him. Some laughed at him, calling him poor and useless. Others told him to go find money first, before talking to them. Each word cut deep, leaving him more broken inside, but he never showed it. Still, Ebuka refused to give up. He always told himself, "It's only a matter of time. God will remember me." But life had another storm waiting. His mother fell ill, an illness that started small but grew worse each day. At first, Ebuka thought it was malaria. Then she grew too weak to walk or eat. He ran from one chemist to another, begging for help, but each one asked for money first. He sold his phone, borrowed from neighbors, and even sold some of his belongings to gather enough for her medication. He hid the money carefully under his pillow, planning to go to the pharmacy that night. But tragedy struck again. As he walked through the narrow streets on his way to buy the medicine, a group of street boys surrounded him. Before he could react, they pushed him to the ground, beat him, and took every single naira he had worked for. Ebuka fell to the ground, his face bruised, his heart shattered. The only money he had to save his mother's life was gone, stolen by the same streets he had struggled to survive in. That betrayal broke him completely. He stood in the dark, speechless, as the boys disappeared into the night. That night, he sat outside their leaking room, drenched by the rain, shivering and heartbroken. His hands trembled as he whispered, "God, why me?" The next morning, their landlord came knocking. "Pay your rent or leave my house," the man said coldly. Ebuka begged, but the man refused to listen. He and his sick mother were thrown out, their few belongings scattered on the ground. They ended up sleeping inside an abandoned kiosk behind the market. That small wooden box became their new home. That night, the sky opened up again. Heavy rain poured over Gaki. In the small kiosk, Ebuka took off his only shirt and covered his mother with it while she coughed in her sleep. He sat there shivering, watching the water drip from the roof, whispering to himself, "Mama, I won't let you die. Not like this." The next day, after a long day of hustling, Ebuka managed to buy a small loaf of bread. Mama Ebuka was too weak to eat, but he forced a smile and said, "Mama, eat. I'm not hungry." He watched her eat slowly, pretending to be full, even as his stomach growled from hunger. That night, he lay beside her, his eyes open, thinking of how much pain poverty had brought them. Days later, while pushing his wheelbarrow through the market, someone's bag fell beside him. Before he could explain, a man shouted, "Thief! He's the one that took my bag!" Within seconds, the crowd rushed him. They kicked and slapped him, shouting insults. He tried to explain, "I didn't take anything," but no one listened. They beat him until his shirt tore and his face bled. The police arrived, arrested him, and locked him up. Hours later, his old friend Tunde arrived after hearing what happened. Tunde pleaded with the officers, explaining that Ebuka was innocent. After much begging and some small payment, they finally released him. When Ebuka stepped out of the station, The evening sun was fading. He looked up to the sky, his body aching, and whispered, "Even when I'm innocent, life still beats me." But even in that darkness, Ebuka didn't stop fighting. He kept working, pushing wheelbarrows, washing cars, clearing gutters, carrying heavy loads, anything to earn a few coins. His palms became rough, his shoulders sore, but his spirit refused to die. One evening, after a long, exhausting day, a market woman poured a bucket of dirty water on him, shouting, "Don't bring that filthy wheelbarrow near my shop again." People laughed and pointed. Some recorded him with their phones. He stood silently, drenched and humiliated. Then he walked to a quiet corner of the market, sat on a wooden bench, and brought out a small loaf of bread. With shaky hands, he tore it into small pieces, eating slowly as he counted the few cash he had made that day. He whispered softly, "Mama, I won't give up." As the sun set and darkness covered, Ebuka sat quietly in the shadows, tired, hungry, but still alive. He didn't know it yet, but life was preparing him for something greater. A few weeks later, while pushing his wheelbarrow past the busy market stalls, Ebuka accidentally bumped into a man. He quickly turned to apologize, but then froze. The man looked familiar. After a closer look, he realized it was Chike, an old-time friend from school, now driving a sleek car and dressed in fine clothes. For a moment, Ebuka couldn't believe his eyes. Chike smiled, stepped out, and they talked for a while. Seeing how rough life had been for Ebuka, Chike handed him his card and said, "Come see me tomorrow. I might have something that can change your life." Ebuka hesitated, but took the card. That night, he couldn't sleep. His mind replayed the moment over and over. The next morning, with a mix of fear and hope, he showed up at the address written on the card. That visit would become the turning point of his life. Chike welcomed Ebuka warmly, offering him food and a cold drink. The house was grand, a place Ebuka had only seen in magazines. He couldn't stop staring at the gold frames and expensive furniture. As they talked, Chike asked quietly, "Do you still code?" Ebuka nodded. "A little. I studied software engineering, but things have been rough." Chike smiled faintly. "I know. We all had our battles, but sometimes you just have to play smart to survive." That night, Chike introduced him to a small group of young men working on laptops. They were not ordinary programmers. They called themselves Yahoo Boys. They used their skills to break into accounts, move money, and create fake businesses online. At first, Ebuka refused. It felt wrong, but the thought of his sick mother, the hunger, and the sleepless nights haunted him. Days turned into weeks, and desperation won. He joined them, quietly, carefully, and learning how to send convincing emails, clone websites, and access private data. Within months, Ebuka's life changed. He earned an enormous amount of money, enough to erase every trace of poverty that once defined him. He took his mother to the best hospitals and gave her the best treatment from the best doctors. He bought her designer clothes, shoes, and diamond jewelries. Soon, he built a grand mansion for her in the city. Ebuka didn't stop there. He bought multiple luxury cars, Range Rover, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, G-Wagon, and even had a private jet for himself. He purchased penthouses in different parts of the city, as well as vacation homes abroad. His name began to spread across the city, and everyone knew Ebuka had arrived. He went back to the streets where he once pushed wheelbarrows, but this time it was very different. Children ran after his cars, shouting his name. He threw money into the air, smiled, and told the boys in the street, "Never give up." He bought food for the poor, gave old women bundles of cash, and held small charity events in his name. Soon, the rich lifestyle swallowed him whole. He started attending the biggest clubs in the city. He wore designer clothes from Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Balenciaga, accessorized with gold chains, diamond rings, and expensive wristwatches. Women surrounded him wherever he went, and he lived as if tomorrow would never come. He traveled the world, Dubai, London, Paris, and so many other countries, staying in luxury hotels, flying private jets, attending yacht parties, and buying gifts for friends and family. He took some of his friends on lavish trips abroad, paid for their accommodations, and showed off his wealth freely. He threw extravagant parties every weekend at his mansion, giving away money, champagne, and luxury items to anyone who impressed him. He built a business front, investing in tech startups and properties, while maintaining his flashy lifestyle. But deep down, he knew the truth. The same streets that once mocked him now celebrated him. Yet his heart was never at peace. Then one night, everything changed. The EFCC stormed his mansion, Cars screeched, sirens wailed, and before he could escape, they arrested him and his entire gang. They found laptops, fake accounts, and evidence of massive cyber fraud. They pushed him into a van, handcuffed, silent, and defeated. That was the end of everything. Ebuka was sentenced to 10 years in prison. His mother, heartbroken and ashamed, couldn't bear the pain. A few months later, she died. Life is full of choices, and every choice comes with a price. Ebuka's story is not just about poverty or success. It's about how pain can shape us, and how desperation can destroy us if we let it. He wanted a better life. He wanted to make his mother proud. But when the road of honesty felt too long, he took a shortcut. And like every shortcut, it ended in tears. Life will tempt you with easy paths, paths that glitter, paths that promise wealth overnight. But behind that shine is darkness, waiting to swallow your peace, your freedom, and your soul. When you suffer, don't see it as a curse. See it as a season, a test, a fire that refines gold. Every great person you admire today once passed through their own version of Gaki, a place of hunger, pain, and rejection. Don't let desperation turn you into what you once hated. Be patient. Keep working. Because true success doesn't just change your life, it gives your life meaning. Ebuka's story is a lesson for all who are struggling. If your dream costs your peace, your dignity, or your mother's pride, then it's not worth chasing.